Hello mga ka-learners! Welcome back again sa ating YouTube channel, Teacher Ako. So, in this video, we'll be focusing on how to create the background of the study. So, kung ready na kayo, let's start. So, syempre, bago natin umpisahan ang discussion natin about creating the background of the study, ipopromote muna natin ulit ang ating YouTube channel, Teacher Ako, where in this YouTube channel, you will be able to upgrade your research and your language skills. So, kung ready na kayo, let's start. So, first, let us define what is the background of the study. So when we say background of the study, it is a section in a research paper or thesis that provides the context and foundation for the research problem being investigated. This part of our study or research, um, this one introduces the topic of our research. At the same time, it explains the significance of our study and sets the stage for the research questions or hypothesis that will be explored. This section helps readers understand the broader context in which the research is situated and why it is important. So, the background of the study has key elements. Ano ba yung mga dapat na meron ang ating background of the study or ano yung mga makikita natin sa background of the study? Okay, una, syempre yung introduction to the topic. So, this section provides an overview of your research topic. So, syempre when we conduct a particular research, dapat may topic tayo. At para maintindihan natin yung topic na nire-research sa isang study, we need to explain this further in our background of the study, including its relevance and importance. So this one explains what the topic is about and why it is worth investigating. So dito sa part ng background of the study, makikita natin yung significance ng topic na pinili natin. Kasi dito natin bibigyan ng definition, and at the same time, lalagyan natin ito ng enough information para yung mga readers natin ay maintindihan kung ano yung topic natin sa research natin. For example, kung ang topic nyo it's all about career guidance implementation or guidance and counseling, dito sa part ng research na to, bibigyan natin ng enough information yung topic na pinili natin yon. Pangalawa, contextual information. It places the research within a broader context, such as historical, social, or theoretical frameworks. This one describes the current state of knowledge on the topic, including key concepts, definitions, and related research findings. So, meron din tayong mga other citations na pwedeng ilagay dito that existed and related sa study natin. Pangatlong key element naman niya ay yung identification of the research problem. This one clearly states the research problem or issue that the study seeks to address. It discusses any gaps in existing research that the study will fill or unresolved issues that need further investigation. So sa background of the study natin, makikita din natin ang ating research problem dito. Okay? Which is written in a paragraph form. Makikita natin dito yung pinaka-point ng study natin. Ano ba yung gustong i-investigate ng ating study? Kailangan sa background of the study, makita na iyon. Next, yung pang-apat naman na key element ay yung significance of the study, yung importance niya. This one explains why the research is important and how it will contribute to the field. For example, kung ang field mo, kasi kinakonduct natin ng research yan, kamukha ng mga ginawa kong videos before, merong mga research designs or researches na intended for certain fields. For example, sa education, sa psychology, or sa health, ganyan. Depende sa study natin yan. So, kung ang study natin ginagawa ay tungkol sa education or related siya sa education, ano ba yung mako-contribute niya sa field na yon? So, kailangan mabigay natin yon dito sa ating background of the study. Mapakita natin yung significance ng topic natin na iyon. And lastly, the rationale for the study. This one provides the reasoning behind the study, including why the researcher chose this particular topic or approach. This one justifies the need for the study and its relevance to current academic or practical concerns. So, sa part ng background of the study na to, dapat, as a researcher, mapakita natin dito or mabigyan natin ng emphasis dito yung reason why we chose this kind of topic for our study. Its relevance, napapanahon ba siya? Bakit mo siya pinili? Pwede natin ipakita yung particular scenario dito na kailangan talaga ito at this moment of time. So, ulitin ko, ito yung mga key elements ng background ng ating study. Introduction to the topic, contextual information, identification of the research problem, significance of the study, and lastly, yung rationale for the study. So, syempre, ngayon naman, i-discuss natin yung structure ng background of the study. Ito yung susundan natin kapag gagawa na tayo ng background ng ating research. Okay, ulitin ko, ito yung structure para sa background of the study. Una, we must have our introduction. So, kung makikita nyo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ang structure na ito ng part ng ating background of the study. Ibig sabihin, pwede nating sabihin na yung 5 paragraphs na to, should I say, ang background of the study natin, pwede siyang mabuo into 5 paragraphs. Gagawin natin siya per section. So, yung first paragraph natin, ito yung magiging introduction natin. Yung pangalawang paragraph natin, ito yung context and literature. Yung pangatlong paragraph natin, ito yung statement of the research problem. Yung pang-apat na paragraph natin ay yung purpose and significance. At yung pang-5, ito yung concluding part ng ating background of the study. So, uulitin ko, merong 5 parts ang ating background of the study. So, let's first talk about the introduction. No worries, later on magbibigay ako ng sample. So, una, ano yung introduction? Ano yung ilalagay natin sa introduction ng background of the study natin? So, we need to begin with a general introduction to the topic, briefly explaining what it is and why it is of interest. Ano ba yung topic natin ito? Magbibigay tayo as a little introduction on it. Tapos, bakit siya interesting? Ano yung meron sa kanya? At dito sa part na to, ilalagay na natin yun. Sa first paragraph ng ating background of the study. Yun yung magiging introduction natin. Yung pangalawang part or pangalawang paragraph naman ng ating background of the study will be focusing on context and literature. Ano to? So, this part discusses the broader context or situation and provide a brief review of relevant literature. Yung mga related literature natin that talks about our chosen topic. Papasok na dito yung mga possible citations natin na related sa study natin. Pwedeng nagamit na siya or na-mention na siya sa previous study na it has something to do or connected sa study mo ngayon. Dito na sa pangalawang paragraph na to ng background of the study, ilalagay yon. You can identify key theories or concepts and previous studies, like what I've mentioned a while ago, that relate to your research topic. So sa pangalawang paragraph na to ng ating background of the study, doon natin ilalagay ang mga yon. Next, ano naman yung pangatlong part ng ating background of the study? Ito yung statement of the research problem. So syempre, bago tayo magkakandak ng study natin, lagi natin ginagawa to yung research problem natin ito. Yung statement of the problem o ito yung tinatawag na SOP. Okay? This one clearly defines the problem or issue that your research will address. It highlights any gap in the literature or unresolved issues that your study will tackle. Yung pinaka-aim natin dito, sa study natin ito, ilalagay natin dito sa paragraph na to. Dito sa pangatlong paragraph na to, ilalagay natin doon yung aim ng ating study. Ano ba yung issue or concern na gusto natin i-address? Ilalagay natin dito. Na-mention ko rin kanina yung gap. Mas maganda yung gap. Dito natin i-highlight. Next, yung pang-apat naman, yung significance of the study or yung purpose ng ating study. This one explains the purpose of your study and what you hope to achieve. It discusses the significance of your research and how it will contribute to the field. Ito yung isa sa importanteng part ng ating study. How it will contribute to the field. Ito yung pang-apat na paragraph ng ating background of the study. Ano yung importansya niya? Bakit natin sa kailangan i-conduct? At ano yung posibleng makontribute niya for example, kung ang research mo ay tungkol related siya sa medicine, related siya sa health, related siya sa education, dapat ma-point natin yung contribution niya na maibibigay. And lastly, yung concluding remarks niya or yung conclusion. This one summarizes the background information and lead into your research questions or hypothesis. You have to set the stage for the research objectives and methodology sections that follow. So dito ilalagay na natin yung mga research questions natin na tina-target natin ma-accomplish at the end of our research. Or it can be the hypothesis that we would like to prove at the end of our research. So uulitin ko, ito yung 5 parts ng ating background of the study. So our background of the study may have introduction, context and literature, statement of the problem, purpose and significance, and then concluding remarks or the conclusion. Usually, ito yung pinaka-basic na structure ng ating background of the study. Usually, ito rin yung fina-follow kapag gumagawa tayo ng quantitative research na study. Kung ang study natin ay quantitative in nature, ito yung fina-follow natin na structure. Okay? Next. Ito naman yung sample natin. Okay, so bago yon, syempre focus muna tayo sa importance of the background of the study. So bakit tayo kailangan gumawa ng background of the study? So una, for contextualization. Because this one provides readers with the necessary background to understand the research problem, including the broader context and previous research in the field. Pangalawa, justification. It justifies the need for the research by identifying gaps in the existing literature or issues that have been fully addressed or not have been fully addressed. And lastly, for the foundation. It lays the groundwork for the research questions, hypothesis, and methodology, ensuring that the study is grounded in existing knowledge and theory. Ito yung mga dahilan kaya importante yung ating background of the study. Lagi natin tandaan itong important reminder na to. Okay? The background of the study serves as the foundation for the research, helping to orient the reader and explain why your study is both necessary and valuable. So here's the sample background of the study for the research topic, exploring the impact of school-based counseling on mental health of high school students. Sample natin to. For example, ito yung research topic natin. So, gumawa tayo ng sample background of the study na kung saan nag-focus ako sa research title na Exploring the Impact of School-Based Counseling on Mental Health of High School Students. So, gumawa ako ng sample background. So, pakinggan nyo or tignan nyo to na mabuti. Ayan. So, eto yung introduction niya. In recent years, there has been growing concern about the mental health of adolescents, with numerous studies indicating a significant increase in the prevalence of mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and stress among high school students. The transition from childhood to adolescence is often accompanied by various psychological, emotional, and social challenges that can contribute to these mental health concerns. As students navigate academic pressures, social dynamics, and personal development, the need for effective mental health support system within school has become increasingly apparent. Ayan yung umpisang introductory part ng ating study na kung saan binigyan ko ng emphasis yung ating topic. It's all about mental health issues. Minention ko dito yung mga possible mental health issues na pwedeng pagdaanan ng isang high school student. Kasi yun yung pinaka-point natin na define dito kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun. Sa continuation naman ng ating introduction. For the school-based counseling programs have emerged as a critical intervention strategy to address the mental health needs of students. These programs aim to provide a supportive environment where students can seek help, discuss their concerns, and develop coping strategies to manage their mental health challenges. Unlike traditional mental health services, which often require external referrals and may be inaccessible to some students, school-based counseling offers immediate and convenient access to professional support within the school setting. This proximity and availability can play a crucial role in early intervention and prevention, helping to mitigate the escalation of mental health issues. Moving forward, ito pa. For the continuation, despite the growing implementation of school-based counseling programs, there is still limited research on their effectiveness, particularly in the context of high school students. Existing studies have shown mixed results, with some indicating positive outcomes in terms of reduced anxiety and improved emotional well-being, while others suggest that the impact may be minimal or dependent on various factors such as the quality of the counseling services, student engagement, and overall school environment. So now, ano yung purpose natin sa study natin ito? Minention kanina sa prior paragraph about previous studies or related studies, yung mga result nila. Ngayon naman dito, ipapakita natin kung ano yung gusto nating makita sa study na to. Tingnan nyo. This study seeks to explore the impact of school-based counseling on the mental health of high school students, with a focus on understanding how these services influence students' emotional and psychological well-being. By examining the experiences and outcomes of students who have participated in school-based counseling, this research aims to provide insights into the effectiveness of these programs and identify key factors that contribute to their success or limitations. So sa paragraph na to, makikita natin na pinakita na yung goal ng ating study. Ano yung pinaka-aim niya? Ano yung gusto niyang matarget? Pinakita na dito sa paragraph na to. Let me continue. The findings from this study, ito na yung possible contribution niya, yung minention ko kanina. The findings from this study are expected to contribute to the ongoing discourse on mental health interventions in schools, offering evidence-based recommendations for improving counseling services and enhancing the mental health support provided to students. Ultimately, this research aims to inform educators, policymakers, and mental health professionals about the role of school-based counseling in promoting mental health and well-being among high school students. So, itong background na sample na to introduces research topic, minention nung una, provides context on the importance of mental health support for high school students, yung pangalawang paragraph natin. Pangatlo naman, discusses the role of school-based counseling. At lastly, hinighlight niya yung the need for further research in this area. So it sets the stage for the research objectives and questions that will guide the study. Exploring the impact of school-based counseling on the mental health of high school students. Yun yung focus ng sample na background of the study na binigay ko sa inyo. Ayan. So, hopefully naman na nakatulong yung discussion natin ngayon about the background of the study. So, kung may tanong pa kayo, pwede kayo magbigay ng comment sa baba sa video na to. Pwede nyo i-like o kaya i-share sa iba na gusto rin magkaroon ng a little idea sa paggawa ng background of the study. So, thank you very much for watching the video. Hoping na sana may natutunan kayo at pwede nyo itong i-share sa iba. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. Bye!